Hi, welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we can take a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Rock and Roll, or as they call it, the Craig Rock and Roll McConnell. Never gonna call him that. It's rock and roll. That's just it. So anyway, here's a look at it thanks to BBTS. I'm not sure if they still have them in stock. I will post a couple links of other places that you can order them. Amazon, Entertainment Earth, different places like that. So anyway, you do have the new plasticless cover. I like this artwork. I liked this idea, but we're going to get rid of it soon, so it doesn't really matter. So what is really cool about this is here you have a picture of the figure. Hopefully it looks like that on the inside. And then you always have these little Easter eggs. So I think G.I. Joe was on the right path, but of course, Hasbro decided to change it up. And here you get everything that he comes with. So again, looking at the artwork, it looks really wonderful. Not artwork, the figure and the artwork, I guess is what you would say. And then on the side here, you have a QR code that I believe is supposed to give you a somewhat around file card. Again, just give me the file cards. It's not that difficult. He has number 71. We see it bigger over here, and we see him with his tattoo and his hang 10. And then on the back here, you have the figure, exactly how tall the figure is. Not how tall he's supposed to be in real life, but how tall the actual figure is. And everything that he comes with. Again, shows you his tattoos, different things like that. But you guys don't really care about that. Let's open this up, take a look at it, see if the quality is better than what we have been getting. I hope it is, because the quality that we were getting hasn't been that great. We've already seen some things online, so let's take a look at it. But before we start, take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I do drop a G.I. Joe classified video, which there's a lot of stuff coming. Let's take a look. All right, so let's get into it. I cut him out here. He looks kind of weird. I'm hoping that's just how he's set. I'll look at that in a second. As I mentioned before, with the plasticless packaging, I think the G.I. Joe team was on the right path of how they were doing things. Here they have his picture in the background. It's exactly the image that we got on this. Again, I like this idea. If you had to do this, this is the way to go. And then you have what's supposed to be like their ammo pack or whatever it is, their arsenal. Now, looking at this, so it tells you there's number 71. Again, it has this big handle on it. Again, way too big for the figure. Nice idea. Poorly executed. They dropped the digital keypad that they had on all of their stuff. So the lockers no longer have that. It says rock and roll on it. Again, I don't really care. I mean, I keep my boxes just in case I ever decide to sell it. I can say I have it complete. Everything does come in this awesome tissue paper that we don't care about. So let's quickly look at the figure. Let's make sure he's not messed up. So again, he's like that. All right, so he was just back. And again, it looks kind of weird because it looked like there was a gap. It looked like there was an issue, but obviously there is not. So looking at the articulation here, T-pose, nice and easy. Got the bicep swivel, pinless double elbows, wrist swivel. They do swivel up and down. Same thing here. Pinless here. This hand swivels in and out. He can look up. He can look down, side to side. Pinless knees. Let's see here. No issues there. Double jointed. You can get this out of the way. And they do feel different. I can see that right away. Boot cut. Ankle rocker. Thigh swivel. The vaunted Jean-Claude Van Damme, which is how you get it to drop down if you don't want to continue to pull up and down. And then it's like, and there went Roman. What do you know? All right, so Here we go. So I gotta say this, just holding him in hand right away, he feels completely different than the last figures that we've recently had. Which is good, because the plastic was not all that good. I think we all pretty much hated it. We saw a lot of different gaps, a lot of different issues with the, not issues with the paint so much, but just the way. I had a cover girl that had a broken arm. We saw a lot of issues with Zarana. Everything seemed kind of gummy. These do not feel gummy, but we're going to go over that in a second. So he is standing there. So here's his helmet. It is much more pliable, so it should fit nicely. Has the Hang 10 on it. You got a nice brown paint app there. So that would be for his communicator, is what I'm assuming, right? That's communication. Also, earmuffs. Not earmuffs, but I can't think of it. He's a machine gunner, so I'm assuming it's to help protect his ears. And then he has a pouch on the back here. Again, really nice detail, to be honest. And here is where you would put the night vision if you had that. Now, I don't know of any Joes that have that yet, so that's not really an option. And then you have his chin strap that's hanging down. So here's his 2 extra hands. So there you have the face that we've all seen the promotional pictures where he kind of puts it in front, so it looks like he has a skull chin. He's got a punching fist. Again, to me, this is perfectly fine. This is more than enough hands that I need. I like having some extra hands, but I don't need too many. All right, so on the front of the gun, they put it in plastic, so I guess it wouldn't warp, which that is something that they had talked about doing before, and the first weapons came like that, and then all of a sudden, they stopped. They were just thrown in there. Again, quality control issues with Hasbro. So we'll pop this off. All right. So looking at the gun, unfortunately, it does seem to sag a little bit. Again, something really easy to fix, but something I also feel that we shouldn't have to fix. You can see just by pressing up on it, it changes. So you heat this up, straighten it, and then hit it with cold water. It should form. Again, it's soft. It's not too soft. We've had softer. We've also had a better hardness quality. It's bent a little bit. I don't mind the bipod. It is green, so it's a little bit different. And they move independently. Now, I'm not sure if that's how they're supposed to move. I'm not a weapons expert. But looking at this, it does have some nice detail on it. It is an old M60. This is what Rock and Roll came with. So this is what people want. They want to have the classic weapons. They want the classic looking figure. So that's kind of what they're giving us. Now, he obviously looks different, and that is because you know they're going to do a repaint later on. So everything looks fairly nice again. It's soft plastic. It sags. I'm not a big fan of that. It does have the port for blast effects. And then we can either take the canister, which I do believe is supposed to snap on somewhere around here. Yep, so it snaps on here. Maybe. All right, there we go. So it snaps on right there. And then you can take this small ammo belt here and plug it through here. So actually it might be easier to throw that on first and then run it through. So if you want it to look like he's shooting just using the ammo canister, you can do that. Or you can take the big bullet belt, which the bullets are a different color than the actual belt that is holding it on. So that's a nice little detail. It's just not all one color. It is obviously soft and pliable. And then you can run this through here and make it look like he's actually firing it. Now, again, it wouldn't really be coming out the other end because, well, the bullets would be gone. Here we have his walkie-talkie. It's got two different paint apps here. You got the brown on the bottom. The cord is brown. Now, I don't mind this being as pliable and soft as it is. That's how most antennas are. And this is hard enough and solid enough that you don't have an issue with it really warping. I think this looks perfectly fine. I wish this is how the gun would have been done. But unfortunately, I think it's going to be something that plagues us tremendously throughout this line. And then we got a sidearm, and it has an extended magazine. I'm sure someone will say that it's wrong, that these don't have it. I don't really care. It is a real-world looking weapon. Maybe it's not an actual real weapon, but again, I'm an adult playing with action figures. There is no port on the front for blast effects. So it's just a regular old pistol. All right, so let's take a look at the figure, see how he looks, because we know we've had some issues. We've already seen some people kind of complain about the face paint. And what I mean by that is where it's actually rubbing off. So let's see how well this looks here. So looking at the face, I think it looks really good. I don't have any rub on the face. The beard has some nice brown and shading through it. So he's just not just a regular, blonde here. I think the hair looks really nice. Look at that color. The eyes are nice and straight. There's no issues with the paint there. The face sculpt is really nice. I would say this is really probably on par with Tiger Force Outback. And maybe they have such a really good job with beards, where you don't have to worry about so much the chin and how you're going to mold the chin and the cheeks because of the beard. But I think this looks really, really nice. And I don't have any paint app issues at all looking at that. So here you have the ammo belt, which I think is fine. That's how he came. Looking at the arms here, I like this operator style shirt. It's cuffed up here. Guy has big biceps. I do the same thing. I'm going to quickly look at the paint. I don't see any overlapping here. Maybe a little there, but I'm not going to complain about that. Underneath, not bad, but I don't see any rubbing across here. I think I saw that on Tiger Force Outback, or maybe it was Recondo, that there was some bleeding. Looking at the tattoos, I think they look pretty nice. Looks like it's a skull and some weird eyes. And then they put a tattoo on his forearm here. Now, I like the fact that they didn't try and go across the elbow. It was kind of a point of contention, because if you do something like that, once you move it, it breaks it up. The same way where I don't mind the ab crunch, I do kind of like the belly dancer better. But G.I. Joe starting doing the belly dancer, the rocker, with Bazooka didn't make any sense because he has a number on his chest, which then it breaks. That one should have had the ab crunch. And here he has Mom tattooed on him, so he is supposed to be a surfer. Then you look at this side, again, I think it looks really nice. They're really dark, and not always what you see. You would imagine some of them would be faded, but again, we're looking at action figures. And obviously, he still has the same tattoo on his hand, but honestly, so far, everything looks really nice. He does have this bullet belt on his arm and his wrist. People complained about it, but again, it's an action figure. Just come on. He's got a canteen here. Nice looking belt. Doesn't look like there's any paint apps. Got a couple extra magazines, it looks like. Another pouch. On the side here, just has his Wow, you know, I just dawned on me that I didn't even grab my O-ring figure to compare it. I have to run down really quick and grab it. I can't, I'm 13 minutes into this and I just realized like I didn't even grab that. He's got a pouch here. Again, it's independent, so it moves freely. Got better knee pads than what we originally had. I like the way the boots are. It kind of looks like there's not shin guards, but there's kind of a guard there, but I don't think it's going to cause any obstruction like the early ones. So far, I think it looks really, really nice. And then here you have his holster. How well does this thing fit in there? Pretty nice. Now, you kind of got to move it up, stay in there. I have an issue with the Mezco Destro staying up, but I think it's because it's on fabric. So, all right. So, quickly, let's pop off his hands. Let's see how easy his hands come off. If we're going to have, wow, that popped off really easily. So, you do have his little wrist bracelet. And it does have some detail to it. I'm not really sure what it's there for. So, we throw the fist on here. So if you want to have him punching someone, reach back, like he's going to punch someone. I will say this, once again, I'll point this out, the elbow is a different color than the rest of the body on both elbows. And I can see it pretty clearly here. So that's definitely an issue, a minor issue to me, but again, it's something that needs to be pointed out. There was someone that was talking about the reason why they probably think that it is because you need a harder plastic on the elbow, and it just means that they didn't really want to spend the time and the money to to get the right paint. So this one off, yeah, these things come off really nice and easily. So you can see the full tattoo. He's got one hand right now. And we can throw on his tattoo here. There's a tattoo his hand. And the whole point of this was so it can make it look like he's giving you the devil horns and you're looking at the face. All right, I'm going to pause this. I'm going to run downstairs, grab my original O-ring rock and roll, and we'll be back. Okay, I'm back. We will not be comparing him to the O-ring roadblock because I cannot find him. I've spent close to an hour looking for it. I don't know where he is in the G.I. Joe room. He should be with the original O-ring figures, and he's not. I've looked through boxes. I can't remember why I would have moved him. So I'm going to try not to lose my cool because I'm honestly about to flip out losing it because he's somewhere in this house. But now I don't know where he's at, and it's extremely frustrating. But that's kind of what I get for moving my stuff around and doing these reviews and moving stuff. Like, it's just frustrating. All right, so let's take a look at how this figure is going to look. So here's his helmet. You got to mention it's nice and pliable. It fits on him really easily. No issues. And even though it's soft, it keeps its shape. I like the pouch on the back. I mean, everything looks really nice. And you can still move the head everywhere that you need to without any problems. All right, so we got the sidearm here. Pops down in here. Let's change out the hand. Throw on his bracelet of bullets. Throw this on here. So we have the canister here. It's going to hold the bullets. It looks like it's meant so that it can plug in on the side here. Looks like it fits perfectly there. And then we have the walkie-talkie. We can plug right on the back here. Now, because it is soft, it seems like it's a little hard to fit in there. So you're going to have to do a little bit of messing around with that to keep that in there. Now we'll take a big old M60, which I do have somewhere in this house that goes with an O-ring. But I don't have it. because I'm about to lose it. I'm doing my best not to absolutely flip out about it. I always say, if you don't laugh at yourself, if you don't laugh about certain situations, you'll go crazy. Again, very soft. Again, I mentioned that before. That's disappointing. All right, so looking at these, it looks like the bullet goes in through here, like it is coming out, and then we can wrap it so it will plug in here, just kind of like it's coming out. So there you go. Kind of makes it look like it's just as he's shooting it. Gotta get in a better position, but again, you're watching firsthand. That's how I like to do things. So it actually makes it look like it's in action, like it's in motion. Actually, that looks pretty cool, to be honest. Let's take this here. Let's throw this down here. And then make it so he uses the bipod. Which again, I think looks pretty cool. I always struggle with anyone with a bipod or anything like that. Whether it be, who comes with one, Dusty or Zartan, trying to get them to look and get them in the right spot. Whether it be the machine gun that comes with developers like Trigger, I just can never get the figure to where I want them to be. I think this looks actually pretty nice because the bipod is so large. So anyway, there you go. That's the end of the rock and roll review that I didn't get to. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm aggravated. All right, so there it is. That is the first look at rock and roll classified. I apologize for how it turned. I completely forgot to grab the O-ring, and then I can't find it. Which, I don't know if anyone's like me. When you're missing something right away, it's going to sit on you until you find it. I kind of got to put it out of my mind, and eventually I got to reorganize the G.I. Joe room again, because I moved so many things around, doing reviews and just different things like that. Why I can't find this figure, I don't know. I probably looked over him 100 times. I went downstairs. I sat there for a half hour without my glasses. That didn't help anything. You know what? You guys don't care. Anyway, rock and roll. I think he looks really nice. Again, I don't see any defects. The plastic seems way better. I didn't mention about the elbows. They are discolored a little bit. That doesn't really bother me that much. But again, if that was the only issue that we've been having, I think it might be fine. It's just the fact that we've had so many issues with Hasbro in general that you kind of start nitpicking at things. And I don't blame people at all. But the plastic feels better. Way, way better. I know people have said the same thing about the Torpedo and the Copperhead. That they seem to be better too. So anyway, there's your first look at them. Everyone should be getting this from BBTS. I will leave links in the description if you are interested. Entertainment Earth, Amazon. I'm affiliate, so you guys know how to get it from BBTS. But hey, if you're not in a rush, go ahead, jump on those other places, pick them up, help support the channel. So I'm going to get out of here. Again, I'm really happy with a lot of these things that I'm getting here. I think that this looks really good. If this is where the classified line, or Hasbro in general, I don't want to see the classified line because this is a Hasbro issue. If they realize, hey, you know what, whatever they were doing before wasn't working and they made a turn, great. Because that's what they needed to do. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm just going to throw out social media. Socials, you know what, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, A Punk with Toys, Facebook group page, Punks with Toys. Again, I apologize. It went downhill really quick because of my frustration. I'm going to walk away for a day or so. I have to. I'm going to go nuts. Anyway, if you liked it, if you like the content, take a second. Help support the channel by hitting that subscribe button, the like button, and the bell notification. So every time I drop a classified G.I. Joe video, you're notified. And believe me, there's a lot of stuff coming. Anyway, I'm out of here. Have a wonderful day, but don't go anywhere. Check out this classified figure. And here's a playlist of all the classified figures that I reviewed, which is every single one of them.